It's easy to get, and it's not just happening in the alleys and hidden places. The heroin epidemic is growing, reaching all ages and incomes. The local drug treatment experts are overwhelmed with heroin addicts looking for help. WSBT 22's Zach Crenshaw sat down with recovering addicts in our area, and their stories have similarities.
The dependence on drugs, how addiction and heroin controls their lives, and the unimaginable pain it causes. Two of the recovering addicts I spoke with say they're working to beat their addiction, but many more are losing that battle daily. You might not realize it, but the destruction of heroin is hidden all around you.
Oh yeah, I remember the day.
Almost every drug addict remembers the low point, rock bottom.
My husband and I used to fight a lot, and my children were taken away because we argued and because of the drug use. And that was my low, when my kids were taken away.
That was 4 years ago.
My oldest was 14, my second one was 13, and my youngest was 9.
Leslie Wickstrom's kids never came home from school that afternoon because the Department of Child Services took them out of class.
I haven't seen them since August of 2012.
Leslie's now at Jane's house in South Bend, a women's shelter for recovering addicts. But her battle with addiction began 14 years ago, taking pills with her ex-husband when friends would come over.
Then it got to the point where, okay, nobody's coming over, but I would still like to have the pills.
It turned into taking anything she could find, multiple times a day.
Hydrocodone to Oxycontin, oxycodone, Percocet, morphine, just a little bit of everything. I snorted everything. I snorted my pills, I snorted heroin, I snorted cocaine.
The move from prescription pills to heroin is a common path for addicts. The high is similar, heroin's cheaper, and now it's more accessible than ever.
Yeah, it's everywhere, man. It's hard not to find it. Everywhere you go, it's there.
Like Leslie, Sean Norton's addiction didn't begin with heroin.
I was 14 when I first used methamphetamines, and I was 23 when I first used heroin.
Shooting up became routine.
You feel kind of like a rush, you know what I mean? Then you nod out, and you know what I mean? Then sometimes you throw up, you pretty much become numb, you know what I mean? Like, all my emotions, I didn't really have any emotions after that.
I was pretty well out of it. I didn't laugh. I mean, for probably 10 years, I didn't cry.
I was working to pay my bills and to supply my habit.
Before they came to rehab in South Bend, Leslie and Sean were behind bars.
It took handcuffs, and sometimes that's the way it happens.
I was in jail with people 50, 60 years old in jail for the same thing I was, and I ain't trying to be the same guy when I'm 60, 50 years old in jail.
When they got out, Leslie came to Jane's house.
I wanted to make sure that if I had my own place, that I would be able to, if somebody came to me with it, that I would be able to tell them no.
Sean is at Life Treatment Centers, just 5 classes away from being back out on his own.
They tell me it's up to me, you know what I mean? Like, I have to make the choice.
Both have full-time jobs and plan to stay in the area, but they know addiction will follow them the rest of their lives.
I'll be probably 83 and still thinking about getting high.
They know they can't erase the pain caused by heroin, but they can warn others.
It might feel good, but in the long run, the only thing you're doing is killing your body and your soul.
If I could go back, you know, to the first night that I ever did it, I would have, you know, if I had known that all this was going to happen, no, absolutely not. I would have never done it. But then again, that's life. That's the way it goes. You can't go back, so you just got to go forward.
Leslie just worked her first full-time shift at her job today. Jane's house helps the women who live there find work. They also have a number of rules to hold them accountable: curfews, daily check-ins, and random drug tests. Life Treatment Centers, which operates Jane's house, also drug tests its clients, which Sean says is just a little extra accountability for everyone in his program. Reporting in the studio, Zach Crenshaw, WSBT 22 News.